For nearly 15 years, the Toyota 4Runner has gone mostly unchanged, a true dinosaur in the car world. Yet somehow, it kept selling like crazy. Well, the wait is finally over. The 2025 4Runner has been completely redesigned, and it's bringing some jaw-dropping surprises. We're talking a tougher look, fresh tech straight out of Toyota's latest playbook, and even powertrain options nobody expected from this off-road legend. But here's the big question. Is the new 4Runner still the rugged SUV fans love, or has Toyota traded too much tradition for modern comfort? Stick around, because the answer might surprise you. The Toyota 4Runner is one of those rare SUVs that's managed to carve out a cult following in America. For decades, it's been the go-to choice for anyone who wanted something tougher than a family crossover, but not as massive as a full-size truck. Think of it as the middle ground between daily driver and adventure machine. And here's the catch. The 4Runner hasn't had a full redesign since way back in 2009. That's practically ancient in car years. Yet buyers kept lining up year after year because of its durability and off-road reputation. Now, in 2025, Toyota is finally giving the 4Runner a brand new chapter. And this is one of the most important SUV launches of the year. Why? Because the 4Runner has always filled a very specific role in the market. A rugged SUV that actually lives up to the utility part of its name. With off-road capability still in high demand and rivals like the Ford Bronco and Jeep Wrangler stealing headlines, Toyota had to step up its game. And they're doing it in a way that mixes classic toughness with a wave of modern updates. So in this review, we're going to break it all down. The bold new styling, the interior upgrades, the technology that finally brings it into 2025, and of course, what's under the hood. You'll see where Toyota nailed it, where they might have cut corners, and most importantly, whether the new 4Runner still feels like the legend fans have been waiting for. By the end, you'll know whether this SUV is simply catching up or setting a new bar for what an off-road ready family vehicle should be. The first thing you notice about the 2025 4Runner is the exterior, and let's be honest, Toyota didn't just tweak a few edges. This SUV now looks like it could march straight out of a concept sketch and onto a trail. Angular lines, a tougher, more squared-off stance, a grille that proudly borrows DNA from the new Tundra and Tacoma. With higher ground clearance, wider wheel options, and pronounced fender flares, it communicates exactly what it's meant for, getting dirty and still looking good while doing it. Even the LED light signatures give it that futuristic yet rugged look that makes you pause and turn your head. Slide inside, and the story changes completely, in the best way. Past 4Runners were notorious for feeling outdated the moment you sat down, but the 2025 model flips that. Now you'll see big, bright digital displays, wireless connectivity, and Toyota's latest infotainment system. The cabin feels bigger, cleaner, and dare I say, comfortable. Yet Toyota kept signature touches like grab handles for when trails get rough, and the kind of practical storage you need on a road trip. Leather trims and higher-end finishes are available on the premium trims, while the off-road trims keep it tougher and washable. It gives both families and weekend adventurers exactly what they're looking for. Now, what about under the hood? Here's where Toyota made its boldest move. Gone is the old-school V6 that powered the 4Runner for years. In its place, you've got a turbocharged 4-cylinder, and for the first time, there's even a hybrid option. The gas version churns out plenty of muscle, but the hybrid really shakes things up, offering not only stronger torque, but also far better fuel economy. That means better power off-road, easier towing on weekends, and fewer stops at the gas pump. Not bad for a vehicle that once made thirsty part of its personality. But the big question, does ditching the V6 change the character of this SUV too much? We'll get into that in a moment. Safety and tech are another headline. Toyota packed this 4Runner with its full suite of driver assists, adaptive cruise control, lane keeping, blind spot monitoring, the works. Some might roll their eyes at driver aids in a rugged machine, but for daily commuting or highway hauls, it's a welcome boost. And then there's the price. While Toyota hasn't announced every dollar figure for every trim just yet, early signs suggest it'll remain in the ballpark of its rivals, meaning Ford Bronco and Jeep Wrangler territory. That could create some tough decisions for buyers who want rugged capability, but also eye-catching tech and comfort. Which way you lean may depend on our next section, when we start breaking down the best features and the biggest trade-offs you'll have to accept. So far, this new 4Runner is shaping up like a vehicle trying to bridge two worlds, old-school durability and modern convenience. But of course, no car nails every category perfectly. Coming up, you'll hear exactly where the 4Runner shines like a champion and where it still plays catch-up in 2025. Okay, everything we've covered so far leads to this moment. How does the 2025 Toyota 4Runner actually feel when you put rubber to dirt and pavement? Because looking good on paper is one thing, but living up to 40 years of off-road legend status is another. The good news? It still feels like a 4Runner, maybe even more so. On the trails, the hybrid torque comes alive instantly. Climbing steep inclines doesn't feel labored. It feels confident, almost electric in its response. The suspension, now borrowing upgrades from the Tacoma, soaks up ruts and rocks without tossing you around like a rag doll. And when you're back on normal roads, there's a surprising calmness in the cabin that past 4Runners just didn't have. It no longer feels like you're wrestling an old-school truck on the highway. But here's the twist. While the smoother ride is a blessing for daily commuters and families, old-school purists might raise an eyebrow. The growl of that old V6 is gone. The new 4-cylinder turbo and hybrid make their own statement. Cleaner, sharper, more modern. The question is whether that trade removes some of the soul that hardcore fans were attached to. In real-world driving, though, Toyota walked a fine line almost perfectly. You get enough ruggedness to keep the 4Runner's credibility, but enough refinement to attract brand-new buyers who might have leaned toward a Bronco or even a Grand Cherokee. It's a balancing act that shouldn't have worked this well, and yet it does. So here's the turning point. The 4Runner isn't just a nostalgia play anymore. It's stepping into modern SUV territory without forgetting its core mission. But is it enough to make it the best choice in its segment? Or do those trade-offs still put Toyota a step behind rivals? That's where we head next. So here's the bottom line. The 2025 Toyota 4Runner finally feels like it belongs in the present, without abandoning the trail-ready roots that made it an icon. This redesign wasn't just overdue, it was essential. And Toyota delivered a package that checks far more boxes than many of us expected. On the pros side, you've got a tougher, modern exterior that looks every bit the part of an off-roader. The cabin no longer feels trapped in the late 2000s. Big screens, smart storage, and real comfort mean families can daily drive this SUV without compromise. The hybrid and turbo powertrains open up a new era of efficiency and torque, giving it both smarter fuel economy and better trail capability. Add Toyota's reliability reputation, and the 4Runner puts forward a compelling case. Now, the cons purists may miss the character of that old V6 rumble. The added tech and safety features, while great for commuters, could feel like overkill to those who love the raw simplicity of older 4Runners. And with competitors like the Ford Bronco touting convertible roofs and Jeep Wrangler sticking to that removable door lifestyle, Toyota still plays it a little safer in the fun factor department. So who is this SUV really for? It's perfect for buyers who want rugged authenticity in an everyday usable package. Families who love weekend adventures. Outdoor enthusiasts who don't want to sacrifice comfort on Monday mornings. And anyone who's been holding out for Toyota to finally modernize this classic. Hardcore Bronco and Wrangler fans might stick with their toys, but the 4Runner now feels far more competitive than it has in years. In the bigger picture, Toyota's decision to hybridize its off-road legend could reshape expectations for SUVs in this segment. If capability and efficiency really can live side by side here, don't be surprised if rivals start following suit. Now it's your turn. Has Toyota nailed the balance between old-school toughness and modern upgrades? Or did they take it too soft for 2025? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you enjoyed this deep dive, give this video a like, subscribe for more reviews, and join the conversation. After all, the 4Runner is back. The real question is, would you make it your next adventure partner?